Howdy folks, hope you're all having a good one and welcome back, not just to Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Daemonhunters, but also to the channel as a whole. I've taken the week off in order to finalise the build on my spare bedroom and office slash study slash workshop. That's all done. House tour video went up 2 days ago. I managed to have an entire day off to myself upon completion of the build, and now it's back to work in the salt mines. To be honest, I have kind of missed it. And we're picking things up almost exactly where we left off in the last episode, where things are going well. I have a brand new librarian who's proving very, very useful. Purgator Thule is no more. All hail Paladin Thule. And then this happens.
Ektar, your alert has disrupted my essential meditations.
We have important tidings.
I can already sense Nurgle's corruption. There is something foul at work. There.
Curious. We have only just had word from Grandmaster Kai. The prognosticars on Titan have augured the advent of a dire omen in that very system. They spoke of a black edifice, a vortex of foul malevolence.
Preliminary estimation, Nocturith Crown.
The Eldari Avatar warned me of this. 5 charred gates in a putrid orchard. Then the Morbus will come.
The Xenos are not to be trusted.
The enemy of my enemy, Ektar. I detected no malefic intentions. We should not forget that the Plague God despoiled their home. Commander, let us be clear. If we do not investigate this threat, the consequences will be dire.
So, I don't know what this is, but it does not sound good.
The bloom has spread to a critical stage of corruption. If we do not stop it now, it will advance the Morbus. If we fail 5 flowering missions, the Morbus will come, and this sector will be doomed.
I'm starting to get some really strong XCOM 2 vibes here. Let's take a quick... Oh my, wow. Corruption level off the charts, danger level extreme. Win the mission without using grenades? Maybe. We do get a lot of servitors out of completing this though. Well, let's crack on. And then, I don't know what it is about these Grey Knights, but they have a real shitty sense of timing.
Commander, the time has come to choose one of your brothers to serve as your champion. Tradition dictates a formal duel should be held to determine the most worthy.
A duel? Are you quite serious?
Such trials at arms are commonplace among us, as the commander will no doubt attest.
Skepticism.
This is going to be one of those traditional Grey Knight things that I am probably going to have to allow.
I look forward to the melee.
Juveniles.
Okay, good news, bad news. Interceptor Storm is wounded, but Paladin Thule won the duel and he gets all kinds of bonuses. So, yeah, that could have been a lot worse. More good news along the way. Ship project complete, gun batteries level 1. All of those Chaos Strike cruisers that are converging on my location. At some point I am going to have to deal with them, and I'm in no shape to do it right now, so let's get the Void Shields upgraded. Level 1 on each. Isn't good, but it's better than being completely defenseless. And then, just 1 or 2 short days later, and right ahead of the Chaos Strike Cruiser, we arrive at the location of the Flowering. So, I said I was getting some fairly strong XCOM 2 vibes out of this, and yeah. This is one of those... Ooh, wait a minute. A chaplain at rank 4. Ooh. Those are some nice rewards. I am extremely short on requisition points, however. So I may need to try to do this mission without using grenades for that bonus requisition point. Because can you imagine how frustrating it would be to be given the option of purchasing a rank 4 chaplain, my first chaplain, and not having enough requisition points to do it? But yeah, this could end up biting me in the arse, because these flowering missions are no ordinary missions. Now, when you elect to complete a glorious deed that involves not using any grenades, it's not just that you can't use any grenades, you're not even allowed to equip any grenades. So I need to go through the team and find something else to stick in their grenade slots, and for the most case this is going to be the war gear that grants an extra 2 willpower, because I suspect I'm probably going to be needing every ounce of willpower I can scrape together for this. Because these flowering missions are not normal missions. I didn't really know what it was that I was facing going in, but I got the idea that it was not going to be easy, and while I really, really like Librarian Thoros at rank 3, I honestly don't think I should be taking a new boy along on a job like this. So, Interceptor Storm is back, even though he is wounded. But a rank 9 Interceptor probably beats a rank 3 Librarian any day of the week. I just need to ensure that I swap out his grenades, otherwise I'm not even allowed to start the mission if anybody has a grenade equipped. So we're going in with the Inquisitor. She must accompany the team on all of these flowering missions when they pop up. We're taking Interceptor Storm. Even though he is wounded, he still kicks ass. We're taking Justicar Iolanthus, Paladin Thule, and Apothecary Harm for medic support and general all-round ass-kicking badassery.
The Morbus is here, Ektar. The galaxy at the precipice. Everything that was foretold.
We can yet intervene, Inquisitor. Strike forth and destroy the Noctilith crown.
I cannot. No. I will not submit.
Calm yourself, woman. Actually, she has good reason to be upset. These are not normal missions. The basic objective, similar to the Eldar Craftworld mission, is to get the Inquisitor to that and have her begin a ritual, which over the course of several turns will result in the destruction of the Noctilith crown, which is the thing that we're here to kill. Now, since this was the first time I've done one of these flowering missions, I had no idea what to expect, other than nothing good. And as I keep trying to say, and keep getting interrupted by something shiny popping up on screen, I was getting very strong XCOM 2 vibes during this mission. Well, more so than I was normally just by playing Chaos Gate. Because at points during XCOM 2, the bad guys would have a secret project that they were trying to complete. And if you allowed them to complete it, extremely bad things would happen. And this is very, very similar. At regular points from here on in, oh, and check out the warp surge on this place. 40% per turn. Yeah. And you get a warp gate every turn as well. So you can't really afford to get bogged down fighting the enemies that warp in. You've got to make it to that Noctilith crown, or whatever the hell they call it, and begin the ritual to destroy it. And the mission is constantly throwing enemies at you. And that adds all kinds of complications. Because, well, one, the game's constantly throwing enemies at you, slowing you down and stopping you from getting to and starting the objective. But also, from the second this first warp gate opens, and there's going to be a fresh warp gate every turn, you are constantly in combat. And what that means, aside from the constantly spending ammunition and using your willpower and not going to where it is that you actually need to be while you deal with the enemies coming through the warp gates, you're never out of combat. And that's very, very important, because what normally happens in every other mission... Oh, a plague champion, that's not good. But yeah, normally you move the troops up, you initiate contact with a group of enemies, everybody immediately gets all of their action points replenished, and then at the end of combat, everybody reloads all of their weapons automatically. But when you're constantly in combat, you're not replenishing the action points at the beginning of the next encounter, because you're constantly in combat, and because you're not going out of combat, you never get the opportunity to reload your weapons without spending action points on doing it. So there's a constant drain on your resources. And I didn't really fully appreciate that the first time I did one of these flowering missions. And when I came to breach the end room, it very nearly bit me in the arse. Also, bear in mind that in the same way as in other missions where you take Inquisitor Vakir along, like the Eldar Craftworld mission, once she starts that ritual, she's of no further immediate tactical use to the squad. So use all of her abilities, blow all of her willpower prior to starting that ritual, because once the ritual starts you can no longer use her, you just have to protect her and keep her alive. So don't be shy about using her abilities. I mean, you have to keep her safe because she must survive the mission, but if you get the opportunity to blow some of her willpower on some of her special abilities prior to starting the ritual, go ahead and do it, because once that ritual starts, any willpower that she has remaining is effectively wasted. Oh no, he's still alive. Hang on a second. Reaction shot from the good interceptor. Right. Notice what didn't happen once I killed the last enemy. Didn't go out of combat. Weapons have not reloaded. Action points have not replenished. Apothecary Hahn here still only has 1 action point left and 2 shots remaining in his Stormbolter. This was not something that I noticed at the time because I was so used to everything refreshing at the end of combat. And things do refresh at the end of combat. The thing is, on these flowering missions, you never go out of combat until the mission is complete. The second that first warp gate opens, you're in it. And you stay in it until the mission is complete. Another thing, and I don't know if this was something specific to the flowering missions, or whether or not I was just lucky enough to encounter this for the first time in the flowering missions, but note that the warp meter after 2 turns is up to 80%, which means it's going to go to 100% at the end of this turn, and this was something new as well, something I'd never seen before. And I'm nearly there. I'm more than halfway to the objective, but the bloom rises, here's the warp surge, wait for it. What the hell? Oh, come on. And we get another warp gate. So bloom spawn have just erupted all around me. I've never seen that happen before, and they have to be killed. I can't run past them or they'll get melee strikes on me. Yeah. And they've got that armor piercing ranged attack. They must be dealt with, and fast. And then on top of that, we're getting more enemies warping in once that warp gate disgorges its contents at the end of the turn. So, fantastic. Like I said, these flowering missions are not easy. And because we're constantly in combat, I'm having to manage with whatever action points I have left over after moving up. Now, these things are demonic, as opposed to the Plague Marines, which are organic, which means Inquisitor Waifu can actually use one of her special abilities for the first time.
Right.
As long as she's right next to one of these things, she can basically banish it and instantly kill it. It costs some willpower, but once I start the Ritual of Destruction, I don't get to use any willpower that she has left. Also, her 2 plasma pistols are very, very useful. One of them, which costs action points to fire, does armor-piercing damage, and the other, which costs willpower to fire, does armor-breaking damage. Paladin Thule still has 2 action points remaining, 1 more bloom spawn. I'm not going to bother with his Force Strike because it's going to take 2 hits to kill it anyway, although I'm thinking about what's going to happen when that Chaos Gate disgorges a bunch of Plague Marines, or worse. Let's see if we can finish this thing off with Justicar Iolanthus. We can. He still has enough action points remaining to get there and cleave it with his Force Halberd. Now then, Apothecary Hahn. I think that's about as far as I can move him up. Without actually being able to do anything useful once he gets there, I can't even lay down Overwatch. So, Interceptor Storm. I think I'm going to make some use of his teleport ability, which covers way more distance for 1 action point and some willpower than he can walk. And can I at least get some Overwatch covering fire? I can stand him here where he's going to be in cover and still get some Overwatch at least on that warp gate. So in theory, Paladin Thule should be the first one attacked, and he's got plenty of armor. And oh, come on. Well, a bit of a good news, bad news situation, I suppose. They didn't actually attack anybody, but the gate is right there, up those steps. That's where I need to be. And now I have to run off over here, dealing with these guys. It's drawn me away from the objective. Okay, Well, I need to kill them fast and get through that gate. So. Oh, good news. I got the action point back after using the teleport ability. That's good. So I'm going to go for the hammer hand crit strike here. And see if we can get some stuns stacked up on this Blight Lord champion. Oh wow, he has so much health. Oh no. Do I go for it? And then try to follow up with Paladin Thule, who's the next closest person. Nobody else is going to be able to help. Armor pierce? Well, he doesn't have any armor left, so what the hell, we'll go for the stun. It'd be really nice to get an execute, but, well, he's just going to kill him before stacking any stun on him. Oh. Okay. Crap. Backed into the corner there. With Intercept Storm in the way, Paladin Thule cannot actually reach this guy, so Iolanthus, onto the chapter on Intercept Storm. He's going to need those bonus action points. I think I'm going to have to warp charge it. With the amount of health that champion has remaining, it's probably going to take 3 strikes to kill him. So, here we go. Ah, he's nearly stunned. Got a crit. He is stunned. Right, execute. Bonus action points for everybody. Right when I needed them the most. Now, before we get another warp gate, I've got to get everybody up those stairs and into that room and actually start the mission objective. And this is more or less the point where I realised that, oh yeah, I have actually remained in combat since that first Chaos Gate opened. So I'm not actually refreshing my action points when I encounter a new group of enemies. I was actually thinking, okay, I've got Storm and Thule down there, but it's okay, I'll breach the door with Apothecary Harm, everybody will get their action points back on combat initiation, and it'll all be good. Except, no, no it won't. Storm and Thule are going to be stuck at the bottom of those stairs, and that is a whole bunch of enemies, and multiple bloom spawns. And nobody's got any action points left. That's where we need to get Inquisitive Vakir. And, yeah, Plague Bearer, not good, and a Plague Ridden, even worse. 30 health. And this is where I realised I'd been in combat the whole time. I thought, well, I'll just move the Inquisitor up, she can banish one of them, we'll go for the really nasty one, the Plague Ridden, and then the rest of the boys can storm in and stomp ass. And that was my last action point, and it's now the enemy turn. Right now I'm thinking, hang on a minute, where did all of my action points go? Why didn't they refresh on the beginning of combat? Jingles, you've been in combat since that first warp gate opened. God damn it. And it's not just the Plague Bearer and the Plague Ridden. Look at the amount of health and armour these bloom spawn have, and they're all surrounded by those growths that do armor-piercing damage at range. I couldn't have breached the door at a worse possible time. And things are only going to get worse from here. So, oh, and there's another warp surge, of course. Now, how bad can this be? Well, have you seen all of the armor that the bloom spawn and the bloom branches have? Now they've got 5 more. Oh, and of course it wouldn't be a flowering mission if I wasn't getting a warp gate with a fresh wave of enemies every turn. So, well, shit. I think I'm going to have to spend an awful lot of willpower in a very, very short period of time in order to stabilise this situation. And speaking of stabilising, let's get some heals on the good Lady Inquisitor, because she's about to die. And if she dies, this mission is over. And you can only fail 4 flowering missions total during the course of the game. You fail a 5th, it's game over. So, how can I use the environment to help? I can knock this column over, and it appears to do armor-piercing damage. So we're going to hit that bloom spawn with it. Go Gadget Apothecary. And still has 1 action point. Right, what can I do with one action point? Because it's basically him, Vakir, and Iolanthus until I can get Thule and Storm up here. Wow. Feculent Gnarlmaw. I don't think I've ever seen these things before, but they are really nasty. Okay, Paladin Thule. He's too far away to actually be able to get up here and engage anybody in melee. I think I feel another teleport strike coming on. All out of range, of course. What to do? How far can I move him for the minimum expenditure of action points in order to be able to do something useful? Let's see what Iolanthus can do. He can do Honor the Chapter, of course. I think we're going to have to go for it again. Intercept the Storm. Oh, actually, wait, no. Gate of Infinity. Yes. Yes. Let's move everybody up. It's going to cost everybody an action point, but at this point, distance is the problem. So,
Yes, Commander.
Inquisitor Vakir. I'm going to banish this bastard because 30 hit points.
To the hell you
Nope. Goodbye.
slain.
Right. Iolanthus. That Rend the Unclean ability is really nice if you get yourself next to a whole bunch of enemies. But he can't do that, not right now, so I'm going to go for the Hammerhand crit. And just try to stack as much damage as possible. Unfortunately, these things just can't be stunned. That would be too easy. So we're just going to hit it a lot. Now, Intercept the Storm. Because his attacks can't be parried, he's the perfect choice to go for the Plague Ridden, who do have a 50% parry chance against the first melee attack on them in every turn. But you can't parry an Interceptor's strikes. Okay, I'm probably going to have to... Oh no, I can't honour the chapter. Iolanthus is out of action points, so we're just going to hit things with Paladin Thule. We're going to hit them a lot. Come on, one more? No, that's all I've got. Oh, this is going to hurt. All of these ranged armor-piercing attacks from the Feculent Gnarlmaw. Actually, no, not the Feculent Gnarlmaw, but the bloom branches next to them. They're relatively short-ranged, but, well, everybody's right up there next to them. So, they have no shortage of targets.
Pain is beneath me.
Wow, no, this guy's doing willpower draining attacks. Although Storm resisted the affliction. And here they come. What have we got? Oh, nice. Another Plague Bearer and a Blight Lord Terminator, who I am reliably informed does not have an assault cannon. Assault cannons have many spinny rotating barrels and go brrrt. That is an auto cannon, which is just as bad. I did miss the opportunity to grab a seed from the Plague Ridden earlier, but I'm going to grab the seed from the Plague Bearer before I kill it.
Another seed.
And Apothecary Harn. 50% chance to cancel a melee attack? No. We're going to heal up Intercept the Storm instead. And I think I'm going to Warp Charge it. He doesn't need the extra heal, but it will give him an extra action point as well. And he's going to be needing those. Right, Intercept the Storm, back up to full health. Finish this thing off. And again. Right.
You have been judged.
Smack this column over, straight into the Feculent Gnarlmaw, I think it is. It's bloody nasty, whatever the hell it is. And just hit it a lot, I think.
It will be done.
Ah, nice. Crit, bonus damage. Do it again. Ah, another crit, bonus damage. It's crazy how much crit chance Intercept the Storm has. That cloud of flies around these things reduces the ranged damage that they take. So, melee for the win. Actually, Apothecary Harn has a pretty high crit chance as well. So that leaves... do I want to start the ritual? Or use... Yeah.
Firing now.
let's use it to help clear the area out, because there's not a lot of point in starting the ritual standing next to a whole bunch of bloomspawn branches and feculent gnarlmaws, because they'll just kill her. So, I mean, this is kind of delaying the inevitable, but these things need to die. See, here's the problem with all these armor-piercing attacks. It only has 5 health left, but it still has all of its armor, so... yeah. Now finish it. One more strike should do. We're going to do it with Iolanthus, because I think I'm going to be needing his Honor the Chapter. Did I get any... Oh, you don't get willpower back for killing those things. I feel cheated. Oh well, so much for that idea. Right, Thule. Yeah, that'll do. I still need to finish off that bloomspawn branch. And I think Thule's the only person who's actually close enough. He can't even kill it. Nobody over here has any action points left. There's another bloomspawn branch over there, and a Plague Ridden and a Blight Lord Terminator coming around the corner. I'm going to move Thule up to here. Or... ideally, I want him to be the one getting attacked. I'd like to be able to move him up and activate his defend ability, but I just don't have enough action points for it. So, and plus, we're going to get another Warp Surge. So, yeah. Oh, shit. His attacks are draining willpower. That's not good. But he's got enough armor, even without using his defend ability to stack even further bonus armor, that he manages to survive that mostly intact. Although he has lost a fair amount of willpower. And then, yeah, these bloomspawn branches doing their ranged attacks, which are really nasty. And what are we going to get on the Warp Surge? Oh, another bloomspawn eruption. Because there just weren't enough bloomspawn for me to deal with already on this mission, and a second Chaos Gate opens. And I haven't even dealt with the bad guys from the first one. There's a bloomspawn spore there. Remember, whoever extracts them gains a willpower point. Unfortunately, it'll cost an action point to do, and you can't use an extractor servo skull on them. So yeah, let's worry about the things that are actually... 50% chance to cancel melee attack, of course. I could smite it, but it won't kill it. What the hell, why not? And I don't think I can get past it. It will get a reaction attack off on me if I try to disengage. So I guess we're going to have to teleport strike again, which is going to leave Intercept the Storm perilously low on willpower. But there's a bloomspawn spore there I can use to... Oh, he got his action point back for the teleport. Nice. So shoot this thing. And there's one willpower point back. And then start carving up the Blight Lord Terminator.
Guide my hand. I must refocus, Commander.
This will kill him. And there's another willpower point back. So that was a fairly hefty expenditure of willpower points. But he's recovered most of them back. I'd call that a points neutral exchange. Right. Now, I can get the good Paladin over here to deal with that final... I mean, it's got a lot of health and armor. Oh, wait, no. Nice. I think if you score a crit on these things, you just get to kill it. So that was a relief. He recovers some of the willpower for the kill, offsetting somewhat all of the willpower that got drained by the melee attacks that he suffered. And it's put him in a decent position to deal with the next warp gate. But yeah, we've got all of these new bloom spawns. And again, another crit from the Apothecary, which just results in an instant kill. I think he's going to be lucky to be able to do that twice. Yeah. Oh well. I do feel like I'm starting to get the situation under control though, but I do need to start this ritual quick.
If you insist. Knights, once I begin the ritual, you must keep the demon force at bay. If I fall, then all is lost.
Bloody hell. Nag, nag, nag. We're on it, woman. Look, Iolanthus, kicking arse and taking names. Although he doesn't have enough action points remaining to get to that last bloom spawn branch or whatever the hell it is. But he does have enough action points to honour the chapter on Purgator. He's not Purgator anymore, is he? He hasn't been Purgator for a few missions now. Paladin Fool. I'm going to move him over here ready to intercept whatever comes through that warp gate, while still having enough points left to defend and stack all kinds of nice bonus armour, as well as bitch slapping the shit out of the first thing to come through that gate. So come on then, do your worst. Unfortunately, yeah, pinned, so he's losing movement. And we've got a Plague Ridden and a Plague Bearer. And this felt kind of unfair, because Thule automatically ran past the Plague Ridden and took a hit from it, although his armour absorbed it, in order to bitch slap the Plague Bearer and knock him down to the level below. Don't know why he did that. I guess the Plague Bearer moved first, so that's the one that Thule reacted to, but we're getting more enemies warping in. And we're still dealing with the previous wave. Although I feel that once I've gotten the initial things like, I mean, we've killed both of the Feculent Gnarlmaws, and we're still cleaning up the Plague branches, and there are more Bloom Spawn that warped in as a result of the last warp surge. But once I've cleaned up all of those, I can actually start concentrating everybody together and hopefully get on top of the reinforcements coming in through these warp gates. 2 actions left on Thule. I'm going to have... Well, even if I Force Strike, it's not going to be enough. And he's running out of willpower. He can't afford to keep doing it. Right, Apothecary Harm, let's get these eruptions under control. Come on, we need a crit. There's a crit. Nice. Instant kill. 1 action point left. Can't reach it. I mean, I can shoot it. It'll strip its armour. There's no point in powering it up with a Cybolt if it's not going to kill it. Now, Iolanthus. Kill. Now that the armour's been removed. That does still leave the one in the corner. Interceptor Storm. He's only got 2 willpower left. Oh no. Shit. Okay, these Bloom Sprouts. I don't really need to worry about the Plague Bearer just yet, but I really would like to kill this Plague Ridden, so we're going to teleport over here. And he should be able to kill it. And it is the most dangerous enemy. It's not Force Strike though, it's got 2 action points. That should be enough. Yeah. Without any further expenditure of willpower. And he gets the willpower point back for the kill. Still got 1 action point. The Plague Bearer down there is... Well, he's not an immediate threat, but I can't shoot him from here due to... Well, he's in hard cover, so it would do no damage. The thing is, I want Thule to be in a position to deal with whatever's coming through that Chaos Rift. Which means I kind of need to deal with this Plague Bearer. But... Oh well, we'll reload his gun. See, I don't know which way it's going to go. It could climb up here or it might run up the steps. But I guess we'll find out. It is climbing up here. Nice. Okay, well it went for Paladin Thule, which is according to plan. Still need to deal with that Bloom Spawn branch in the corner. And what have we got?
Enemy reinforcements.
2 more Plague Marines, including a Blight Lord Terminator. And here's the Warp Surge. Okay, that could have been a lot worse. I think another Bloom Spawn eruption would have been worse, but beneficial mutations are never good. Bonus health and armor, and this guy's going to recover additional health when he heals. And of course, a fresh wave of reinforcements through another Chaos Gate. Right. So, this thing needs to die. And honestly, Storm really, really needs the willpower. Because that teleport strike ability of his is going to see a lot of use. Finish it off. Right, good. Remember, his attacks, his melee attacks cannot be parried, regardless of whatever abilities somebody may have. The good news is I do still have the Quicksilver stratagem left, but we're going to stick a pin in that for the moment, and only use it when I really need it. For the moment, I'm going to move Paladin Thule up to here, which is as far as I can move him and still have 1 action point left. And then, rather than attack anything, we're going to defend again. This is going to stack some bonus armour on top of him. And I'm probably going to need to get Apothecary Hahn over here because he's down to 14 health. I'll worry about that in a moment though. So, teleport strike. Yep, he's just kind of too far away. Well, actually he's not. He can hit both of them. No, this is good. I'm definitely going to warp charge this. No, I'm not. He only has 3 willpower. He needs 4 for that. So a regular teleport strike will do. That stripped the armour off both of them. And he did get the action point back. He has a 50% chance of recovering action points whenever he uses the teleport ability. He has to attack the Terminator. Come on, where are the crits when I need them? There we go. Unfortunately, it's really hard to stun a Blight Lord Terminator, although it does seem like the best option. And now he's out of action points. However, I still have that Quicksilver stratagem in my back pocket ready to go, and I honestly think this qualifies as an emergency. So, 2 more attacks for Interceptor Storm, and I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait a minute, I can shoot that. Is that... Ah... What? Wait a minute. No, he does... Oh, of course I can't shoot it. I still had Apothecary Hahn selected. Right, select Intercept the Storm, shoot this thing. Oh, it's not quite going to hit both of them. Damn it. Oh, well, it'll at least hit the Plague Marine and knock him back straight into Paladin Thul's defend zone. That's the good news. The bad news is I only have 1 action point left, and it's going to take 2 to kill the Blight Lord Terminator. Shit. Oh well, it is what it is. Hopefully I can finish him off with somebody else, like maybe Apothecary Hahn? You know what, I'm going to deal with this thing in the corner with Iolanthus first, because it has been pissing me off since we breached this room. Right. So I've no longer got that thing doing armour-piercing damage at range. Let's move Iolanthus further over with his remaining action point. Now, I do kind of need Apothecary Hahn over here anyway, because Paladin Thul could really use a heal. But he doesn't need the action point, so I'm not going to warp charge it. Unfortunately, that does mean that Apothecary Hahn does not have enough action points to shoot and kill the Blight Lord Terminator, but the Terminator went for a melee attack. And Storm, because he's a rock star, parried it. The Plague Marine then got smacked right out of Paladin Thul's defend zone, and then retreated back into cover. And then we get another group of Plague Marines. Okay, I feel like I am starting to get the situation under control, now that I've at least managed to clear the room of all the stuff that was in there when I breached, however many turns ago. And of course we do get another wave of reinforcements coming through at the end of the turn. So, of course, because we failed to finish off the Blight Lord Terminator, it recovers all of its armour at the beginning of the next turn, but it's standing right next to Intercept the Storm, so it's going to die anyway. And he gets another willpower point back. So he now has 1. Unfortunately, he can't quite reach the last Plague Marine, so I'm just going to move him up to a relatively safe position and have him ready to deal with the next wave of reinforcements. Paladin Thul. We're going to force strike the crap out of this guy. And a second hit should kill him. Oh, it stunned him. Fantastic. Great. So, execute. Bonus action points for everybody. And points make prizes. And of course a willpower point back for Thul as well. So he's now up to 3. I really wish Intercept the Storm was back up to 3. Actually, I wish he was up to 4 so he could warp charge his teleport strike. But we'll get him into position, ready, along with Apothecary Hahn, who I want closer because he doesn't have a huge amount of bonus armour, but he at least has some. Right, do we have anything left? Overwatch or Aegis Shield? Yeah, I think Aegis Shield. He does not have a huge amount of bonus armour, and he's kind of hurt himself as well. And Overwatch. Remember, Overwatch ends your turn, so if you're going to do it, Aegis Shield first, then Overwatch. Now then, Iolanthus, feeling a bit lonely over there. And I think we're about to have a bunch of Plague Marines come up those stairs. I want him in a position to defend the Inquisitor. Yep. Let's get him into cover here. and Overwatch on the stairs. That'll do nicely. Here they come. Working as intended. What's this guy doing? Nice. Not a problem. Is he going to Overwatch here? He is. Yeah. That might be a problem. We'll have to see what happens. Let's not forget we're also going to get another warp surge. What's this guy up to? Yep, I think putting Iolanthus into cover was definitely the right idea. And what are we getting through here? Another Plague Bearer who runs straight into Han's Overwatch, and another Plague Champion, and the Warp Surge. More mutations. Yeah, I can live with mutations. I mean, it's not good, but it's better than Bloom Spawn eruptions, which just give me even more enemies to deal with. Oh, great, more health, more attack drains, and another Warp Gate. How many more turns do I have to keep this up for? 3. Okay, we're nearly there. We're nearly there. Right, Iolanthus. Covered by Overwatch, of course, which we're going to need to deal with. We'll come back to that. Apothecary Han. Oh, remember, these guys are going to block melee attacks. Yes! Lucked out. Cool. It still gets that 50% chance, though, until it parries the first melee attack. And it parried the second melee attack. Fantastic. It's not going to parry this one, though. It only gets the opportunity to do it once per turn. Hasn't killed it, but Interceptor Storm. I think we're going to have to teleport in order to clear that Overwatch. Fingers crossed to get the action point back. And I don't. Okay. Well, we'll kill this guy. It's going to take 2 hits. That's fine. He has 2 action points remaining. Good. Now, oh, he has another action point. Right. Oh, Iolanthus. Iolanthus does a lot of damage with that halberd of his. Although, I need to deal with... You know what? Deal with the problems that we have. Worry about the problems that we're going to have when we have them. Let's get this guy. Good hard smack from Iolanthus with the Force Halberd. Doesn't kill him, leaves him on 7 health. And honestly, I think 7 health is too much to deal with, even for Storm, with 1 action point. This isn't going to kill him unless I get a crit. And of course I don't. Right. Thule is doing nobody any good all the way back there. I'm going to have to force strike this in order to finish off that Plague Bearer. But the good news is, at least he can finish off the Plague Bearer. And hopefully he will take... No, he went for the Apothecary. I was kind of hoping that that guy would go for Thule instead, but I guess Apothecary Han was the closest. The next Marine is getting carved up, and... Oh, wait, no, the stun. He's going to recover from the stun at the beginning of our turn, so that was unfortunate. The reaction shot from Storm was useful, but you don't get to capitalise on it with an execute unless it happens in your turn. Ah well. And what do we have over here? Another 3 Plague Marines, and one of them with a hazard spray. Shit. How many more turns? 2? Come on, how many more turns? Yeah, 2 more. Right, Apothecary Han's low on health. You know what? I think... Oh, he's out of ammo as well. See, this is what I'm talking about. If you're not getting out of combat, you're not getting the automatic reload of your weapons. So, Warp Speed Biomancy on the good Paladin. This is going to give him increased movement and +4 crit damage. Of course, that does rely on actually scoring crits. But the extra movement meant he was able to get over there at the cost of only 1 action point. So, shit, I have to reload. And that guy still has 20 health. You know what, that's not actually going to be too much of a problem. I mean, yeah, he's a Plague Marine champion, but he's standing right next to Paladin Thule. And Thule can take the hits. Oh, this guy is stunned. Oh, fantastic. Right, we're going to execute him with Intercept the Storm. Because he really, really needs the willpower. That's a bonus action point for everybody.
On the hunt.
Let's start carving this guy up. I honestly thought that if you stunned an enemy in their turn as a reaction, the stun didn't last until the beginning of your turn. It's nice to be proven wrong. Right, Iolanthus has to finish this guy off, which is, you know, it's nice. It's bonus willpower for him, which we're going to need for the Honour the Chapter, but it's dragging both him and Intercept the Storm perilously far out of position, with a whole bunch of Plague Marines teleported to within shooting distance of Inquisitor Vakir. And I don't really have anybody to protect her with. Try and finish this guy off with Thule, but just the one action point from the execute, that's never going to happen. Oh, this is not going to be good. This is not going to be good at all. Oh, that is really, really, really bad. Well, it could have been worse. He could have laid down a persistent hazard spray, which would have continued to do damage to the Inquisitor every turn, but it's still not good. Okay, Overwatch is better than shooting her again, I suppose. And we still have a third and final Plague Marine. He's getting himself into cover. And... ah, this is bad. Well, I know what Apothecary Han's going to be doing next turn. A nice parry there from Paladin Thule, and a reaction strike off against the Plague Lord Terminator, who is not shooting with his plasma pistol and is instead just inflicting vulnerability.
That's it. My ritual is near complete. Hold them back just a bit longer, brother knights. Just a bit longer and we've won.
Alright, that's a bad group of enemies. And the vulnerability on Paladin Thule is not a problem because he's going to finish off that Plague Lord champion. More mutations for the bad guys with the final Warp Surge. Let's get Apothecary Han, get the Inquisitor healed up. Oh no. You need willpower to heal. He doesn't have enough willpower. Oh, this is bad. And nobody has a Medicae Servo Skull to heal her with, so it's time for Iolanthus to be a hero, I think. He's just going to have to take it to deal with that Overwatch, so we're going to give him a fighting chance and power up his Aegis Shield. This should allow him to trigger that Overwatch without taking any damage. 2 action points remaining, but he's going to consume one of them just getting there. So we're going to, yeah, hammer hand crit this fella. There goes the Overwatch. That frees up everybody else. Honestly, the armor pierce was a mistake here because it didn't kill him. And he still has his 3 armor, which the next guy is going to have to deal with, which is going to be Apothecary Han. So yeah, that basically didn't kill him, did it? However, I can stun him. And now we can finish him off with an execute. So the stun from Iolanthus did actually turn out to be worth it. Everybody's gotten a bonus action point. And a point of willpower back for the good Apothecary, but still not enough. Not enough to get a heal. Alright, I guess we're going to focus this guy down next. This won't actually hurt him, but it will strip his armour. And unfortunately, Iolanthus, the 1 action point just isn't enough, so we'll set Overwatch. They should go for Apothecary Han. Now then, Thule, finish this guy off, will you? He does still have a lot of health. I may as well use the willpower. Get a 4th strike. And because of the execute, he has 4 action points, not 3. And he's going to need all 4 to finish this guy off. He's not going to need to expend willpower on a further 4th strike, though, because 4 regular attacks will do it. Right, Intercept the Storm. Way too far away to be able to do anything useful.
As you command.
But I can at least move him up. He's unlikely to be the next one attacked, so there's no point in Aegis shielding him. I can teleport him over here, so I get the action point back. Nope, I don't. But he can at least hit this guy. And that is it. Please be too far away to do anything. Please be too far away to do anything. Okay. Beneficial mutations for everybody in the area, but they're all so far away, I think they're not actually, because these are melee attackers, so I really don't have to worry about them probably for another 2 turns. Come on. Nice. Intercept the storm, stuns him as he tries to disengage. This guy's going to shoot somebody. I am really getting desperate here. Come on. Oh, Apothecary Horn is nearly dead, but that is it. We've done it.
It is done, Commander. The Morbus's advance has been halted, at the least for today.
And that was easily, beyond any shadow of a doubt, the toughest mission I have yet had to do during the playthrough of this game. So the good news, despite running into some interesting surprises and unusual mission mechanics along the way, I did it. I nearly lost Apothecary Han, I nearly lost Inquisitor Vakir, but I did it. The bad news is, this type of mission is going to keep happening. Just to keep you on your toes until you complete the game. And if you fail 5 of these missions, it's game over. On the bright side, thanks to not using any grenades on that mission, I did get bonus requisition points, and I am going to need them. So I can recruit a rank 4 chaplain from the armory. We'll take a look at him in a moment. But first, it's promotion time for everybody who wasn't already at maximum rank, like Interceptor Storm. But let's take a look at this new chaplain, who, very confusingly, is also called Storm. So, a Grey Knight chaplain. Chaplains are... well, they're an unusual class. They're very, very tanky, although nowhere near as tanky as a paladin. But they're about on par, or perhaps even better at taking damage than a Justicar. But what they bring to the party is a series of buffs. They're a bit like the Plague Lord champions that we've run into on previous missions on the side of the bad guys, in that they provide squad-wide benefits in the form of litanies, which they can recite basically to keep morale going and help the squad recover things like action points and willpower. They also get this provoke ability, which is basically a taunt, and is very handy for dealing with ranged enemies. You target them, provoke them, and they get so mad that they forget about their guns and they just close to melee range of the person who provoked them. Which, well, you can imagine, can be very, very useful. They also get the ability to kind of function as a sort of party willpower battery, where they can transfer their willpower to another member of the team. So they're a very useful support class to have in a well-rounded team, providing the ability to tank a surprising amount of damage, as well as buff the rest of your squad and debuff the enemy. So Chaplain Storm here, similar to Librarian Foros from the previous mission, once we get them both trained up, should prove to be very useful and effective members of the squad. But that, I'm afraid, is where we're going to have to knock things on the head for today. I hope you've enjoyed this mammoth, nearly hour-long episode of Warhammer 40k Demon Hunters. Marking my return back to work after taking the best part of a week off in order to sort out the finishing touches to my new house. There is some big news coming in the next episode, however. Inquisitor Waifu is about to complete her research into the Codex Toxicus, which is going to unlock missions that make the one we've seen today look like a walk in the park. All of that coming up in a future episode. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this one. It is good to be back on YouTube, and as always, be pure, be vigilant, behave.